So we have not started laying down in a long time. And I figured today would be a good day to do a little bit of starting there because it's a great place to figure out neutral spine. So I'm gonna I'm just gonna double check this is far enough back. Yeah, that's as far back as it goes. I'm gonna get you on your back. Now, if you are somebody who is prone to neck pain, or when you lay down, your chin is really lifted up towards the ceiling because the back of your neck is tight. You need some sort of little lift under your head, like garden kneelers are perfect for that, but like a small folded up towel or a novel, right? We don't want a big pillow because we don't want the chin tucked in. A small pillow might work if you had a small one. Now, I want you to have your legs bent. I want your feet within the width of your body. Quite often we think our body is super wide. Ideally our feet are actually sit bone distance apart, and our sit bones are what ache when we sit on something outside in the cold weather, or maybe you ride your bicycle right in the bottom of your tushy. Now, I want you to draw your attention to the back line of your body, right? Your head's going to be down, and of course, your neck is up. We're going to look at the rest of the curves of the spine. What we have a tendency to do is flatten our low back or arch it too much. So, right, we want to feel that the back of our ribs are down, and our lowest ribs are right behind our belly button. Now, if those are lifted off the floor, I want you to take an exhale that's like a sigh, and that'll help those ribs drop down. Now, ideally, your low back is not pressing into the floor because your pubic bone is reaching away from your nose or your belly button. It's not tipped towards your belly button. Now, all we're going to do from here, now that we've found neutral, is let's just try and find our Pilates breath. So you're just going to inhale through your nose because there's filters there. And you're going to exhale through your mouth. Now, as you breathe, ideally you feel the rib cage going sideways. And you can always put your hands on the sides of your ribs to help facilitate that. And as you exhale, the ribs come narrow. And of course, there's a little front and back movement in the ribs as well. But it's not all just at the top of your chest, right below your chin. That's a stress breath. And we want to get into a deeper, into the bottom of the ribs breath for our work. And one more of these. Inhale through your nose, expanding your ribs. And exhale through your mouth through a gently pursed lip. That helps the core engage a little bit. Now, from here, we're going to go to our imprint. I want you to imagine you're laying in memory foam, and you're going to take an inhale to prepare, and you're going to exhale, use your core, draw your low back down towards the floor, making an impression in that memory foam, and then inhale, release that. Exhale as you imprint, your pubic bone will tip towards your belly button a little bit. And inhale, go back to where the low back feels light on the floor. Exhale, imprint. Inhale, neutral. One more here. Exhale, imprint. And inhale, neutral. Now, I want you to put your hands on your pelvis. And we're just going to play with turning one knee outward and inward, almost like it's a windshield wiper. And I want you to notice how far can you go without your other leg moving and without your pelvis rocking side to side. It'll move a little bit. And of course, a little tensioning in the core will help it not move much. But if you're getting your knee all the way to the floor, the only way you're getting it there is by twisting your pelvis, and we don't want that. Now, we're going to add this into a leg slide. If you're on a yoga mat, you're going to take your yoga mat and tuck it up a little bit between your feet and your bum so that your feet can slide, because yoga mats don't really let our feet slide. And then, right, your hands are on your pelvis. Turn that knee out that you just were playing with. You're going to straighten that leg out. Did your ribs lift when you straightened your leg? Turn your knee in, bend your leg. Turn out, straighten your leg, keep those ribs heavy so the straighter your leg gets, the more tension you have in your core. Turn your knee in and bend. Outward, straighten. Are you breathing? Inward and bend. We'll do one more in this direction. Outward, straighten, inward and bend. Now that same leg, you're going to turn inward, straighten, outward, bend. Inward, straighten, outward, bend. inward, straighten, outward, and bend. One more, inward, straighten, outward, and bend. Now we're going to go over to our other leg, and we're just going to do our windshield wiper movement again because your range of motion on one side might be bigger than on the other side. Now remember, the leg that's not moving ideally is just that knee is pointing at the ceiling the whole time. And you're trying not to let your pelvis rock side to side, and tensioning in the core helps that. Let's add this to the leg slide. So turn out, slide your leg straight, turn in, bend, outward, straighten, inward, bend. Breathing, outward, straighten, inward, bend. Keeping the part of your back just above your belly button on the floor as you do this. Now let's reverse. Inward, straighten, outward, bend. Inward, straighten, outward, bend. Breathing, outward and bend. One more here, inward, straighten, outward, and bend. We're going to go on to our side for a little bit of rotational breathing just to warm up our back a bit. So I want you to bend your knees, have them in front of you, and you can use a pillow under your head or your arm. And when you look at your knees, I want you to notice if your knees are stacked on top of each other. Ideally, that top knee is right on top of the other one. It's not shifted back. You're going to have your top arm reach forward, shoulder distance off the floor in front of you. Inhale, point at the ceiling. Turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turn your ribs back. Are your knees still stacked? Inhale, hold this. And exhale, come back to where you started the exercise. Inhale, point at the ceiling. Turn to look at your hand. Now, as you turn your ribs backwards, keep your hand in alignment with your shoulder. That will help stretch your back. Inhale. And exhale, coming forward. Inhale, point at the ceiling. Turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turn your ribs back. Inhale, hold. Exhale, forward. We're going to do 2 more on the 2 breath. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. 1 more back. And forward. Let's do the other side. So, right, either a pillow or your arm under your head. Knees are bent, they're stacked. Tension in the core. Top arms reach forward in front of you. Inhale, point your hand at the ceiling, turn to look at it. Exhale, turn your ribs back as you reach your knees forward. Inhale into the back of the rib cage. And exhale, come back to where you started. Inhale, point at the ceiling, turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turn backwards, knees are reaching forwards. Inhale, hold. Exhale, coming forwards. 2 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, turn back. Inhale. Exhale, coming forward. 1 more. Inhale, point at the ceiling. Turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turn backwards. Inhale, hold. And exhale, coming forward. 2 breath. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. Just 1 more of those. Inhale, back. And exhale, forward. Onto your hands and knees for a little bit of cat stretch. So hands are right under your shoulders, knees are right under your hips. Now remember, if your wrists have a tendency to be sore, let's be up on your knuckles with your thumbs pointing away from your kneecaps. Find a little bit of support in the abs, back of the head matches the back of the shoulders. Take an inhale. Exhale, point your tail down at the floor, scoop your back up to the ceiling, look back at your knees. Take an inhale into the back of the ribs, and exhale, flatten back out again. Take an inhale. Use the back of your legs to help point your tail down at the floor. Scoop your back up to the ceiling. Belly buttons in as you take an inhale. Exhale, flattening back out again. 2 more of those. Exhale, curl your back around. Inhale, hold it. Exhale, flattening back out again. 1 more. Take an inhale. Exhale, curling round. Inhale, hold. And exhale, flatten. Let's go onto our back for a little exercise called hip roll. What you're going to do for this exercise is lift your bum off the floor, keeping your feet on the floor. So, right, you don't want anything extra under your head because that's a great way to put your collarbone in your throat, and that makes it hard to breathe. So we don't want that. So, right, feet are sit bone distance apart ideally, right, which is about 4 inches apart for all of us. Backs in neutral. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, imprint, lift your bum, roll on up onto those shoulder blades. Inhale here and exhale, rolling back down again. Now, when you got to the top, was your back arched? Take an inhale. Exhale, imprint. Now, reach your knees towards your toes as you roll up. Ideally, you are a straight line from your knees to your low ribs here. Inhale, exhale, roll back down again. Now, if this is bugging your hamstrings, remember, don't let your knees get further apart. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, imprint. Reach your knees towards your toes as you lift up onto those shoulder blades. Take an inhale. Exhale, rolling back down again. Just one more. Take an inhale. Exhale, rolling up. Inhale at the top. And exhale, rolling back down again. Now, if you like something under your head to help your neck feel better, pop it under your head, right? Remember, you don't want that chin pointing at the ceiling, so it's a good thing to have it there. Now, let's go to our shoulders. I want you to bring your hands up over your chest with your palms facing each other. And I want you to notice if your hands are over your throat or over your chest. If they're over your throat, it impinges the ability of your shoulder to move, so you want them over your chest. Now, imagine you're holding a box between your hands. You're going to reach your hands forward towards the ceiling. Feel how the shoulder blades come off the floor. And then exhale, come back down again to where the collarbones are wide. Inhale forward as you go back. Don't let go of that box as you open the collarbones wide. Inhale forward. That's called protraction. Exhale back to neutral. One more here, forward. As you come back, are your ribs still heavy on the floor? Now keep your ribs there. We're going to do an arm circle today. You're going to take both hands towards the floor above your head, and then turn your palms to face the ceiling and bring them around to your hips. You're going to inhale as you bring your hands to the middle and towards the floor above your head. Turn your palms to face the ceiling and come to your hips. Inhale up. Now, if you're getting pain or popping and cracking, make this smaller. Exhale, circle to your hips. Inhale up through the middle and towards the floor above your head. Exhale, circle around to your hips. Now let's reverse. Inhale around the outside towards the top of your head. Turn your palms to face each other. Exhale, come down the middle. Inhale around the outside towards the top of your head. Turn your palms to face each other and come down the middle. Now, are your hands still shoulder distance apart as you're doing that? Inhale around the outside towards the top of your head. When you come down the middle, hands are shoulder distance apart. One more here. Inhale around the outside towards the top of your head. And exhale, come back down again. And I just want you to rest your hands on the floor by your hips. And we're going to go to a little bit of head nod. Keeping your head resting on whatever it's resting on right now. You're just going to gently nod your chin towards your chest and release back to neutral. Inhale, tiny nod. Exhale, release. Now remember, when you're doing this nod, you're thinking about reaching the top of the head away from the top of the shoulders, not about pulling your chin in hard. Try to keep the space in the front of your throat. We'll just do one more of these. Inhale, little nod. Exhale, release. Now let's go back to the shoulders. I want you to lift your arms a little bit off the floor. Your palms are facing each other. Your collarbones are wide. And you have the four curves of your spine, right? Neck up, rib down, low back up, tailbone down. Let's go to our shoulder shrug. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades towards your ears. Exhale, slide your shoulder blades down your back towards your heels. Inhale up towards your ears. Exhale back down again. Now, what's most important about this exercise is as you go down, you feel a bit of a tensioning right across your back where a woman's bra crosses her back horizontally. Inhale up. Exhale back down again. One more here, up. When you find that tensioning, that's where your shoulders in neutral. And of course, ideally, your collarbones are wide there. Let's just go to our ab prep. So I want you to pop your hands behind your head. I want your elbows in your peripheral vision because that's the easiest place for both your ribs and your shoulders to be in neutral. Feel the weight in the tailbone, right? Your sacrum, the back of your pelvis, the lightness in your low back, and the weight in your rib cage, your low ribs, right? Right just above that belly button in your back. And you're going to inhale, do a tiny nod of your head. Exhale, Round up to look at your knees and notice that that mid-back area gets heavier into the floor. Take an inhale there and exhale back down to where you started. Inhale, nod. As you curl up, think about pulling the belly flat. Inhale into your back and exhale back down again. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl up. When you're here, when you take that inhale, don't let that belly inflate. And exhale back down again. Two more of these. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl up. Belly is flat. Low back is still light. Inhale into your back. Exhale back down again. So we're not imprinting or doing that pelvic tuck. One more here. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl. Ribs are heavy. Inhale. And exhale back down again. Let's go on to our belly for a little bit of breaststroke prep, just so we can bend the other way. So hands are beside your head for this exercise. Your legs are close together with your kneecaps pointing down. You want to feel that from your fingertips to your elbows is resting on the floor. You want to rest on the tip of your nose, not your forehead or chin. And before we do this exercise today, I'm just going to talk about abdominal tension, and we're going to play with something. So right now, your belly might be 100% relaxed on the floor. That's okay. What I want you to do is I want you to pull your belly button up as high as you can up towards the ceiling. And then I want you to 100% relax that. And then pull your belly button as high up to the ceiling as you can, drawing it inwards up towards your backbone. And then relax 100%. One more of these, lifting all the way up. And relax 100%. Now, when we're doing our work, we don't want the belly button pulled up as close to your spine as possible. We want it halfway in between. So I want you to pull your belly button up as high as you can, and then I want you to release it down 50%. Now, you're going to try and keep that. Feel how that's just a little bit of tone. It's not a lot of tone in the abs. Now, right, we're going to move our shoulder blades first to start this exercise. So you're going to inhale, slide your shoulder blades down your back towards your heels. Then you're going to exhale, use your back muscles to lift your upper chest away from the floor. Inhale into your back. And exhale, come back down again. Now, it doesn't mean you don't feel that abdominal wall moving, right? Your abdominal wall will move when you do that inhale at the top. You're just trying not to let it push outwards towards the floor. So, right, we got our 50% tension in the abdominals. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades down your back towards your heels. Exhale, coming up. Inhale, the back of the neck is long. And exhale, back down again. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, use your back muscles to lift your upper chest away from the floor. Inhale. Exhale, back down again. Now let's try this on the 2 breaths. So you're just going to inhale, come up, and exhale down. 2 more of those. Inhale, up, exhale down. 1 more, up and down. Pop your hands under your forehead. So, right, belly button is still in a bit, right? It's not all the way up to your spine. It's 50% engaged. You're going to inhale, open your collarbones wide. Exhale, use your back muscles to lift your head away from your hands. Inhale, hold this. And exhale, back down again. Inhale, open your collarbones wide. Exhale, use your back muscles to lift your head away from your arms. Inhale, exhale down. Notice it feels different than that other arm position. Inhale, open the collarbones. Exhale, lifting up. So it feels a little different through that back. And back down again. Now let's try it on the 2 breath. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. 1 more of those. And down. Now we're going to go into our shell stretch, right? So you're going to pick yourself up and sit back towards your heels. Now, if you're having an unhappy knee day, you can always lay on your back and hug your knees into your chest. When we're in shell stretch, sitting on our heels, we're literally trying to sit on our heels as much as possible. So our torso is away from our legs. Our elbows are bent. So I know this kind of looks like child's pose, but it's not. Yeah. And let's do a little bit of a gentle rock side to side here because it just feels nice and helps the fascia feel a little happier. 1 more breath here. And we're going on to our back for the 100. Now, right, the 100, right, is that fun little exercise where there's 100 breaths in it, 5 inhales, 5 exhales is 10, 10 times 10 is 100, right? If you're having difficulties doing all 5 breaths, feel free to start exhaling sooner, yeah? I'm counting it as everybody's doing everything, like all 5, 5, 5, 5. If your neck has a tendency to be sore, you don't have to lift your head for this exercise. If your low back is sore today, please leave your feet on the floor. But I'm calling it like everybody's lifting everything. And literally, if you're having a day where all you want to do is practice the breath, that you're still doing the 100. So, right, we're going to start by finding neutral, right? So you want to sense the weight in the back of the ribs, right? And the lightness in the low back. We're going to change that if you're lifting your legs. You're going to take an inhale, exhale, imprint. Then lift one leg at a time up to that tabletop position, which is the right angle at the knee and the hip. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl up to look at your knees. And go in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. Sniff, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 20. Now, if you're finding this easy, straighten your legs. Out, 2, 3, 4, 30. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 40. And if the straight leg is easy, take it lower. Out, 2, 3, 4, 50. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 60. In, 2, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 70. In, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 80. In, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 90. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 100. And we're going to come on down. If your legs are up, just hug them into your chest. A little rock side to side is always a nice little thing. If you're having disc issues today, this position isn't great for your back. You could have your feet on the floor and just do a gentle rock side to side with your knees there. Last breath there. And let's come up off our backs. We're going to go to spine twist here. So what I want you to do is I want you to be sitting up nice and straight. I'm sitting cross-legged because I'm on a platform, but you could have your legs in diamond or straight, tight together, but you want to have that nice lift out of your low back. If you're sitting here, you're twisting in a way that's not really great for your back. Now, all I want you to do is I want you to take your hands, make a little platform out of your hands, put them against your ribs, and find that nice width in the collarbones, right? Find your core. And we're going to use exhales to turn today. Try not to move your pelvis. You're going to inhale to prepare and go exhale, 2, 3, inhale, center. Other side, 2, 3, inhale, center. Exhale, 2, 3, inhale, center. Maximum range is 15 degrees to one side if you're staying in neutral. So if you're getting bigger than that or trying to get bigger than that, you're just trying to do something that isn't anatomically possible. Exhale, 2, 3, inhale, center. Now, we're going to reach our arms out to the side and do this again. Now, ideally, when you wiggle your fingertips, you can see them in your peripheral vision. If you can't, your arms are too far back. And, right, if I take my arms too far back, see what my shoulder just did? Find your core, same game. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, 2, 3, inhale, center. You're going to look at your back hand as you turn. Inhale, center. Exhale, 2, 3, inhale, center. Shoulder blades feel like a waterfall going down your back. One more to each side. Exhale, 2, 3, inhale, center. Last one, 2, 3, and center. Beautiful. We're going to do a little bit of spine stretch forward just to round out our back after that. So right legs are either straight with the feet shoulder distance apart for this, or your legs are in a diamond shape, because remember, most important thing is you're sitting up straight out of your low back. And if you have a yoga block, you can always pop that under your bum for this exercise. Hands are on your legs, sitting up nice and tall, collarbones are wide, take an inhale. Exhale, start with your head, round forward, scooping your belly button in, top of your forehead, aiming for your knees, take an inhale. Exhale, come all the way back up again. Take an inhale, exhale, rounding forward, pulling the belly button in and up hard this time because we're trying to round that back. Inhale and exhale back up again. But we're not aiming for our feet with our hands. We're aiming the top of our forehead to our knees. Inhale. Exhale back up again. Let's try this on the 2 breath. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Inhale up. One more here. Exhale forward. And inhale up. Let's go onto our back. And we're going to do a little exercise called single leg stretch. It's done in the same position that our 100 was done in earlier. Everybody's going to want their feet off the floor for this, but if your neck is sore, you can leave your head down. I want you to find your imprint. Lift one leg at a time up to that tabletop position. You're going to inhale, nod, exhale, curl up if you're lifting your head. Grab one leg with both hands, straighten your other leg, and then we're going to switch which leg is straight. Exhale every time you straighten the leg. Inhale in between. The lower the leg is, the harder it is, but you got to keep your imprint. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees together. Put your head down, and we'll just do a gentle little rock of the knees side to side here. But remember, if you're a bit disky, get those feet on the floor. Give that back a break from the shape. Yeah, or if you're getting nerve pain down the leg, that sciatica stuff. Yeah. Now, from here, we're going to go to obliques. Your choice. You can either do it with your legs in tabletop or put your feet on the floor, but I want everybody to have their hands behind their head for this exercise. Find that neutral shoulder. Now, if your legs are still up and you want them in tabletop, just keep your imprint and reach your knees away from your chest, taking those knees right up over your hips. You're going to inhale, nod, exhale, curl up to look at your knees. Inhale here, exhale, rotate, inhale, center, other side, inhale, center, exhale, back down again. Inhale, nod, exhale, curl up. Now, when you rotate, look for the seam on the inside of your pants, and then look for it on the other side, and come back down again. Exhale, curl up. Aim your shoulder to your opposite knee. Inhale, center. Shoulder to opposite knee. Inhale, center. Back down again. Remember, we're trying not to move the pelvis. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, back down again. One more here. Exhale as you curl up. Inhale. Exhale, rotate. Other side. And back down again. Now, I want everybody to put your feet on the floor. Drop your elbows sideways, and we'll just do a little bit of a release here. Just rocking your knees side and center, and side and center. And you might be feeling a bit of a stretch through your chest if you keep your elbows on the floor as you do this knee rock. And if you tighten that chest, and most of us are a little bit, yeah, because we do everything in front of us with our hands and pretty much nothing behind us, so our chest gets tight. That's why we end up with shoulder pain as our chest is tight and our upper back needs to just be a little stronger. Anyways, let's go to a little bit of shoulder bridge work. So I just want you to have your feet within the width of your body. And if you like something under your head, just leave it there for now. We'll take it out in a moment. And we're just gonna find that connection in our tushy that's part of lifting our butt when we're keeping our back straight. So I want you to grab a hold of your bum for a moment. And all I want you to do is feel your all 10 toes on the floor, outside edge of the foot, center of the heel. Yeah, now you're just gonna press your feet into the floor. And as you press your feet in the floor, you'll notice a tensioning kind of right where your middle finger is on your body, and release. Yeah. That's right where your thigh and your butt meet. I call that your thud. For most of us, that's where our hand goes when we reach down to grab a hold of our butt here. Right, so you're going to press your feet on the floor, feel that increase in engagement, and release. Now, I want you to notice if both sides are engaging at the same time, or if one's engaging a little quicker than the other. And if that's the case for you, this is your homework. You're going to try to figure out how to get the two engaging at the same time. Now, Let's press our feet in the floor. Then, without moving your feet, feel like you're trying to pull your heels away from your bum. Can you sense that the ribs just got heavier and the back of the legs got a little more active? And then I want you to pull your knees closer together, but it's not really a big movement. It just wakes up the inner thigh. Feel how that makes the back of the leg work a little more efficiently as well. Let's release. We're going to do that one more time. So press your foot into the floor. Feel like you're pulling your heels away from your bum without actually moving them. Narrow that knee angle down so the knees are a little closer together. And we're going to release. Yeah? So ideally, all of that's happening when we go to lift our butt off the floor. If you have something extra under your head, let's get rid of it because we're going to do our exercise where we lift our bums. So, right? We're not holding on with our hands anymore. I want you to take an inhale, exhale, press your feet in the floor. The pelvis might feel like it's floating slightly. Can you get that engagement on the back of the legs? Can you pull your heels further from your bum? Can you narrow your knee angle? Take a sip of air and then exhale. Reach your knees to your toes, lifting right up into that shoulder bridge position. Take an inhale there. And exhale, let's come all the way down. Feel how the back of your pelvis gets heavy and your feet get light. Let's do that 2 more times. So press your feet into the floor. Feel how the pelvis just got lighter. Pull your heels from your bum. Narrow your knee angle. Take a sip of air. And then exhale. Lift up, reaching your knees towards your toes. Inhale. Exhale, back down again. One more of these. Press your feet into the floor. Pull your heels from your bum. Narrow your knee angle. Little sip of air and lift up, reaching your knees towards your toes. Inhale. Exhale, back down again. We're going to do 3 quick ones. Take an inhale. Exhale, just press your feet in the floor and lift. You feel that working? And come back down again. 2 more of those. Exhale, press and lift. Inhale, down. 1 more, press and lift. And back down again. Let's just do a wee little add-on. Take an inhale. Exhale, press and lift. Now, when you're here, just press a little bit more weight in one foot, release it, press a little bit more weight in your other foot, release. First foot again and release, second foot again and release, and put your butt down. Yeah? Now, from here, we're going to do an exercise called, just double checking I have time. Yes, I do. We're going to do a little exercise called rollover prep. Now, what rollover prep is we're learning how to curl our bum off the floor without having our feet on the floor. Now, it's not a swing of the legs, it's a curl. So it's not about trying to get your bum high either. It's a little stretch in the low back. Now, if you're having sciatic pain, skip this exercise, go back to cat stretch, be nice to your body, yeah? Because this can trigger it to be worse if you're already flared up. I want you to take your hands, place them on your forehead, palms up. That way you cannot use your arms to do this exercise. Your legs are up, you're in an imprint. Now, when you're here, you want to have your ankles crossed with your feet higher than your knees, and your knees are going to be a little close to your chest, closer than our typical tabletop. Now from here, you're just going to take an inhale and exhale. Feel like you're sinking your ribs harder into the floor as you tip your tail up towards the ceiling, and then inhale, put your tail back down again. Exhale, pulling your pubic bone towards your belly button to tip your tail up, and inhale down. Exhale, scoop that belly button in, ribs are heavy. Inhale, release. 1 more here. Exhale, curl. Inhale, release. Now we got to cross our ankles the other way and do 5 more. Take an inhale. Exhale, curl. Inhale, release. Now, are your neck and shoulders doing something? Exhale, curl. Inhale, release. Ideally, they're quite quiet. Exhale, curl. Inhale, release. And if your head's wanting to lift off the floor, your curl's way too big. Exhale, curl. Inhale, release. 1 more. Get those ribs heavy as you curl your tailbone up towards the ceiling and release. Good. Let's place our feet on the floor. And we're just going to come onto our tummies and do a little exercise to help release out the front of the hip after that. We're going to have our hands under our forehead, and we're going to have our legs close together with our kneecaps pointing down, and our collarbones are wide. Our core is engaged 50%. And we're going to do a knee bending exercise here. You're going to bend one knee, pull your toe towards your bum like you're trying to kick yourself in the bum with your toe. Then you're going to release it out a little bit, pull your heel towards your bum, straighten your leg. Other leg, you pull your toe in, release, heel, straighten your leg. Now, what we're working on is not twisting the pelvis. So, did you lose that 50% engagement of your core when you did your knee bend? Let's try it again. So, toe, bends out, heel, straighten. Other leg, you go toe, heel, and straighten. And toe, heel, and straighten. And if you tighten the front of the hip or in the front of your thigh, you'll feel a bit of a stretch here. But because we woke up the thought earlier where your thigh and your butt meet, ideally you're feeling some work there. Toe, heel, and straighten. Other leg, toe, heel, and straighten. I hope you're breathing. Toe, heel, and straighten. One more here. Toe, heel, and straighten. While we're down here, let's just do one more version of our breaststroke prep. So I want you to take your hands beside your head, like the very first breaststroke prep we did earlier in class. You're going to have that 50% engagement in your core. Inhale, slide your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, lift up. You're going to lift your hands and your elbows off the floor. Inhale, hold. And exhale, down. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades down your back towards your heels. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, hold. And exhale, back down again. Just one more of those. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. And down. We're going to push back into our shell stretch. Sit back over your heels. Round out your back, scooping your belly button in. Or remember, you can always lay on your back and hug your knees into your chest. Little gentle rock side to side here, either through the hips, the shoulders, or the head. 2 breaths. And then we're going to do a little bit of side leg work before we call it a class. So I want you to lay on your side, straight line from your head to your feet. Now, when you're here, you can have a pillow under your head if that's happier for your shoulder, or you can use your arm. And all we're going to play with to begin with is just reaching that top leg out, and notice that lifts your side of your body off the floor and bring it back in again. So right, you're trying to reach your toe past your toe of your bottom leg and back in again. Just to go, okay, that's how I lift and lower the side of my body. I don't want it fully lifted though for the work. What I want is just the side of my waist lifted and my ribs are still on the floor. So there's just a bit of tensioning of that top leg away from the top of your head. And of course, the top of your head's reaching the opposite direction. Now, to help you balance, you can have your top hand down, fingertips only. That just helps your shoulder be in neutral. And you're just going to lift your top leg up, flex your foot, bring it down, point your foot. Now, as you do this, ideally the side of your waist never touches the floor, and you're feeling some work on the outside of that hip. Now, some of us are quite strong and won't necessarily feel it, but part of what might make you not feel it is if your leg's coming forward as you lift up. So you might want to feel like you're just reaching your leg slightly back as you inhale, lift it up, and exhale, come down. Inhale, lift up, and exhale down. One more here. Is the side of your waist still off the floor? Now let's go to our staggered leg. So you're going to inhale, lift your top leg, exhale, lift the bottom leg to meet it. Take them both down. Inhale, lift, exhale, squeeze your knees together and down. Now remember, if this hurts your bottom hip, I want you to bend that top leg, get it in front, and just play with lifting and lowering your bottom leg. But is the side of your waist still off the floor? That's part of this game. Inhale, lift, exhale, squeeze your knees together and down. One more, up, squeeze, and down. Beautiful. From here, we're just going to go to the other side. I will do clamshell again next week, so we can fine tune it like we did last week. So straight line from your head to your feet, Hips are stacked now, right? How do we know they're stacked? Well, you reach that top leg out and in a couple of times. And when they're stacked, the side of your waist is off the floor, not the side of your ribs, right? Now, top hand can be down, belly button, of course, is in. And we're just going to lift that top leg up, flex your foot, bring it down, point your foot, reach up, flex your foot, bring it down, point your foot. You're going to inhale as you lift and exhale as you lower. Now, remember, if you're not feeling a lot in the outside of that hip, you probably are lifting that leg forward as you go up. So you want to feel slightly that you're reaching it back as you lift it so that you target that outside of the hip. That's what we're trying to find with this exercise. Inhale up and exhale down. Of course, core is working. One more. Now let's go to our staggered leg. So you're going to inhale, lift your top leg, exhale, lift the bottom leg, take it down, up, squeeze your legs together and down. Now, is the side of your waist staying off the floor as you're doing this? Inhale, lift, exhale, squeeze, and down. Inhale, lift, exhale, squeeze, and down. Two more. Inhale, lift, exhale, squeeze, and down. Last one, lift, squeeze, and down. We're going to go onto our back so we can do a bit of a release for our hips. And if you like something under your head when you're lying on your back to help your neck be happy, pop it under your head. I want you to step your feet to the width of your mat and just play with dropping one knee into the middle and picking it up. Now, it's not about trying to get your knee on the floor. What it's about is pulling to the edge of the tension and coming out of it. Now, what I mean by that is you're not going to where there's pain. If you think about your soft tissue being like taffy, that you're just, right, you want to pull to where you feel that taffy being pulled. You don't want to, pull further than that because unlike taffy, our tissue stiffens in response to pain and discomfort. So you don't want to go right into the pain and discomfort. Now, let's do one more release here. I want you to bring your feet closer together. I want you to cross one knee over top of the other one and drop your arms sideways on the floor. Now, palms up, palms down, doesn't really matter. It's what feels best on your body. And then I want you to play with rocking your knees side and center and side and center. And same thing, you go to the edge of where you might have some pain or discomfort. You don't go into it. And then you come right back out again. And ideally, you're breathing here. Now, we're going to just cross the knees the other way so we get a little bit on the other side. So we'll walk side and center here. Breathing. And just notice the differences side to side. Maybe one side's tighter than the other. And the more you're gentle with it, the better, the happier it becomes. If you go into that pain place, it will stiffen. Trust me, I've done it. I've done it in the last 6 months. It's a silly thing to do. Don't do it. Now, right, we want to just do a bigger back bend before we call it a class. So I just want you to flip onto your tummy. And we'll do a couple of swan dive preps. So hands beside your head. Forearm is down on the floor, right? So fingertip to elbow on the floor. Legs are open to a V shape. And then I want you to see if you can find the muscles in your bum that pull your heels towards the middle. And ideally, when you do that, you feel right where your thigh and your butt meet, tensioning a bit, because those are some of the muscles we're looking for. Now, you're going to inhale, slide your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, come up onto your elbows, and then use your arms and your bum to come up till the whole front of your torso is off the floor. You're going to inhale, hold this, and exhale back down again. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades down your back towards your heels. Exhale, come up onto your elbows, then use your arms and your bum to come higher. Inhale, hold. Exhale, back down again. We'll just do one more of those. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, hold. And exhale, back down again. Beautiful. Last shelf stretch of the class. So we're just going to sit back over our heels, lay on our back and hug our knees in. It's just always a good idea when you've done a back bend which all of the stuff we do laying on our front to a certain extent is a back bend, to bend forward just to counteract it. Let's just do 2 more breaths here. And then I hate to tell you, I've run out of time for today. Thank you for hanging out with me and doing some Pilates. I will see you again soon.